If just eating less and moving more worked to burn belly fat the way it's supposed to, take a walk down the high street. Why is everyone fat? Hi, I'm Ian Dowie, the online PT, not the old palace manager. And today I'm going to show you why calorie deficit advice fails guys like us and what to do instead. Plus, I have a free cheat sheet that you can grab via the link below after you've finished watching. But this video isn't for guys who want to be this. This is for blokes who've got a bit of a gut, a mortgage and no more time to waste on diet plans that leave you feeling drained and exhausted whilst weighing the exact same on the scales. So if you're sticking around, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. Before I lost 2 stone, here's what my evenings looked like. I'd be slouched on the couch at 10 PM, glass of wine in hand, scrolling Instagram and wondering why I couldn't make calorie deficit work for me. Fitness gurus would tell me, just track your calories. Carbs aren't the enemy, just hit your macros, get your 10,000 steps in. One day I realised something. Fat loss can't be as simple as calorie deficit. Either that or I'm an alien. Because if it was, everyone would be walking around shredded to the bone. Because of that realisation, I started searching for a better way to burn belly fat. The equation sounds so simple, right? But I'm not an equation.
That's a man.
And I've got better things to do than measure and track every little morsel that goes into my mouth. Here's what those fitness lads with their precision measured chicken breast never understood about dropping the first X off the shirt size. I didn't demolish a plate of biscuits because I lacked discipline. I ate it because at 3 PM, still stuck in back-to-back meetings where I couldn't even sneak out to take a piss, my brain would be screaming for energy. And those convenient snacks are the simplest way for me to feel human again. I wouldn't snack because I lacked willpower. I'd snack because on a Wednesday night, when I've been up since 5 AM and my flat needs cleaning, those crisps in the cupboard were the only little dopamine hit I'd get on an otherwise boring hump day evening. Oh, and those calorie counts you were obsessively tracking. Food labels are allowed a whopping 20% inaccuracy, plus 52% of labels can't even manage that. Are you still wondering why calorie deficit has done nothing for your waistline? Let's have a quick run through the fitness failures that kept me frustrated. First, I'd download MyFitnessPal, which I kept up until that dinner out where I was staring at my plate like some kind of forensic scientist, trying to work out whether it was 200 or 300 grams of rice on my plate. Meanwhile, the lads are wondering why I'm photographing my food like I'm some kind of food blogger now. And intermittent fasting seemed like a great idea until my boss scheduled an 8 AM breakfast meeting. That broke my fast 3 hours early. But what was I supposed to do? I can't be the guy just sat there staring at a cup of black coffee whilst everyone else tucks into croissants and baked treats, can I? And every time I'd slip up like this, some greased up guy with a 6-pack would be my phone. Fat loss is just about calorie deficit, bro. Here's the truth they won't tell you. For me, the difficulty was never about knowing that I should eat healthier. The difficulty was in knowing what to eat, how much to eat, and when to eat it, so that my hunger and energy levels didn't look like a Trump-induced stock market graph, and I wouldn't come unstuck by eating something that wasn't pre-planned and scheduled 6 weeks in advance. But that's why I made the guide that I wish I'd had when I worked in an office, and you can get that via the link below. What actually works? Lower the bar from perfect to possible. Who doesn't want to feel inspired and motivated? But when what I saw in the mirror was a million miles away from these guys, the gulf between us felt more demotivating than inspiring. When I set a goal like get a 6-pack, every day that I didn't have a 6-pack, I was literally failing in my objective. So instead, I worked out what behaviour would take me to that end goal and made those behaviours, instead of the end result, my goal. Because of that, I felt like I was in control of my actions day to day in how they related to my end goal, which meant that I didn't get demotivated. And even if I did slip up, I could get right back on it the next day. Until finally I'd lost 2 stone. Not by sitting there and wanting it so badly it hurt, but by following a system and some good habits that would get me where I wanted. But that leads us into exactly what some of those actions were. Let me place a bet with you. I'm betting that you don't fire through half a sleeve of biscuits as soon as you finish your breakfast. And I bet you don't wash down your lunchtime meal deal with a glass of wine and a handful of salted peanuts. If you're anything like me, those indulgences happen in the evening when willpower has been worn down by another day of stresses and strains of daily life. So since we can't rely on willpower to avoid these little indulgences, what can we do instead? By adding a dose of protein to your breakfast, 30 grams minimum, you get your metabolism working properly from the very start of the day, which will make you feel fuller for longer. So you don't have any build-up of hunger or cravings waiting for you when you let your guard down in the evening. And have a lunch that would make your mum proud. Something with meat or fish, something with veg, something to fill you up. And yeah, fine. If you do have to wolf down a sandwich while you're answering your emails at your desk, please don't complete the meal deal trinity with a can of Coke and a packet of crisps. You're literally better off having 2 sandwiches. I wouldn't even eat them both at once. I'd save one for the 3 o'clock slump when I needed something to pick me up in the afternoon. But doing these things meant I wasn't trying to refuel myself from my day in one single sitting feast in the evening. Which brings us to the slightly broader point of creating systems that survive the chaos of modern life. Motivation is like your mate who's always in the gents when it's his round at the bar. So I like having a few fail-safes I can rely on, no matter how not arsed I wake up feeling. Like a breakfast of a massive black coffee, a slice or 2 of toast or some overnight oats, all washed down with that protein shake I mentioned earlier. Plus a few microwave meals tucked away in the freezer for when I really don't want to cook and I know Deliveroo will do me no favours. I'm not meal prepping 20 Tupperware containers every Sunday, but I'm knowing that when shit hits the fan, I've got a default position that isn't diet disaster. And I'd stack small wins that don't require any effort, like taking the stairs at work instead of the lift, or swapping fizzy drinks for water, having a proper breakfast so I'm not starving by 11 a.m, walking to the shops instead of driving. None of these will transform you overnight, but over time they add up and make a difference. If all of these steps had only worked on me, then you'd be totally safe in dismissing everything I've just said as utter nonsense. I mean, so many people are banging on about calorie deficit. They can't all be wrong, can they? So you put your trust in a PT at your local gym because he's a unit. And maybe you lose a few pounds, get a bit stronger. But it's not the dramatic change you were expecting. And you still have to angle yourself every which way to get even the vaguest outline of your abs in the mirror, which is where Josh was before trying this method. In under 4 months, he dropped 28 pounds and 4 inches off his waist. Now, he's fitter than ever, stronger than everyone he works with, and understands how and what to eat for the rest of his life without ever having to count a single calorie ever again. Here's why I failed for years to get my shirts to fit like I thought they should. And this whole topic winds me up. I wasn't failing because I was weak-willed. I wasn't failing because I didn't want it enough. I wasn't even failing because I love food too much. I wasn't failing the diet. The diet was failing me. The fitness industry profits from making fat loss seem way easier than it is. From making you feel like the problem is you, not that their solution is a problem. For men with real lives, the hardest part isn't knowing what a calorie is. It's navigating a world designed to keep you fat, with food engineered to keep you eating, whilst juggling responsibilities that leave you feeling drained by the end of the day. So if you're sick of being told that a calorie deficit is all you need, imagine putting your old jeans on to find that they actually fit again. Not because you tracked every bite you ate, but because you built some good habits that work for you. You can take the first step by getting my free cheat sheet via the link below. And if this video helped you see why your previous efforts never worked, hit subscribe to get my weekly videos where I break down each component of fat loss in a way that works for real men with real lives. What I created is the anti-calorie blueprint, an approach that works with your body's natural hunger patterns and lifestyle constraints. instead of fighting against them. It's not about counting every calorie. It's about strategic eating that prevents you even wanting to raid the fridge in the first place. No more counting, no more cravings, no more confusion. Cheers.